So this lady came after me, and I don't think she meant a whole lot by it. She just doesn't really know. She doesn't really have those good interpersonal communication skills. Um, if you come on somebody's Facebook when they're 61 years old and they're showing all this stuff, and if it's deep stuff and you're not really sure what it's about, ask questions, and that's what Messenger's for. But here's what she did. She came at me. By the way, it was the Addams Family one. She came at me. She's Truther Athena. I went ahead and blocked her, so I can't even click on it anymore. But when you click on her, it's like, I tell the truth of the gospel. It's like, okay, that's a nice claim. That's like, we sell the lowest price vehicles. Okay. But you can lie to us. It's not against the law for you to say you sell the lowest price vehicles, you know, but we can go online, we can go to another dealership and beat your price. So you're telling the truth. So she says, LOL, so many believe this Trump has a twin and a fake deadly wound. Who? I don't even see anybody saying that except a few AI sites, Angel White and Shaking My Head Productions. But they'll take you down wrong roads too. And but okay. No examples or anything, but the Bible never said a fake deadly wound. Well, the Bible doesn't say a lot of stuff that's true. The Bible doesn't say, there's no Bible verse that says God doesn't love everybody. And yet it's inferred. For instance, Matthew 15:24. Jesus said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I thought he was sent for the whole world. No. John 3:16. For God so loved cosmos in the Greek, the first definition. That's where we get our word world from. But our word world today does not use all 8 Greek definitions. And what did God so love? The top definition of the Greek word cosmos, which is not even in our vernacular today. So we just equate it to the whole wide world. He loves everybody. When Jesus said, I never knew you, that tells you he does not love everybody. When you go to Hebrews 12:6-8, it poignantly says, for whom the Lord loveth, oh, I thought he loved everybody. No, he does not love everybody. Again, I never knew you means he really never, ever knew them. They were born goats. They're of their father, the devil. That's the way it is. That's not taught to you. That's not my problem. I don't want to get in too much hot water. Let me just say, I'm telling you the truth. And let's work on it. So, I hit reply. So her name, Truth or Athena, came up, and I said, I think we've approached this before. Why did I say that? Because she came on my post, one of my posts about 3 weeks ago, and said the exact same thing. And I asked her, I asked her these comments right here. She never addressed it. She never came on and answered my questions, and she didn't do it again today. So she hem-hawed around it. So let's get into it. Because I want to be accountable, not into strife. I'm not going to sit here and argue and bicker with somebody. After the second admonition that says, turn them loose. If you told somebody the truth twice, let them go. If they're still fussing, fighting, being difficult, not receiving it, however you want to put it. So again, if you got a question, message me. If you've got a legit question, but you want it on the public, put it down there. She could have said, hey, give me the Bible verses that make you surmise that the deadly wound is faked. So I said, try not to post the same thing over and over without responding to my rebuttal to your comment, please. Because this is the second time it's happened and she didn't respond last time. Trying again that which you didn't acknowledge last time, but I left out the word which. So you got 7 kings of Mystery Babylon. 7 kings, Mystery Babylon. And they've come right out and shown you the 7 kings. So, he's the 7th. He reps. This is like an Apprentice commercial deal. And you see there's 7 Donalds here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yet here's the 8th, which is what the twin trumps are about. Because you have your 7 kings, and we'll get to the Bible passage about said verse. You see the 7th and the 8th, they're the same. She's like, I don't know what all these people are talking about. Body double or a clone. Who knows? Don't care. Trump is 88 in Gematria. What do you think the Twin Towers had? Gematria is where A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. Z is 26. Now there's different types of ciphers, but that's called simple. That's the simple gematria or English ordinal. There's Hebrew gematria. There's all kind, but that's how you get the number of the man. Don Drumpf, the former family surname, Don Drumpf comes to 666 in English gematria, which is our English ordinal or simple gematria times 6. So it's like A is 6. Yeah. Like B is 12. It's crazy. But it's a gematria cipher. And if you key in SIX, 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 666, spell it out, you get Donald John Drumpf in Hebrew gematria. Drumpf was the Trump surname until it was changed to Trump around the 1600s from most of the research I find. And that was so he could be here in his own name. Like Jesus said, the Antichrist would be here in his own name. Is the word Antichrist? No. Jesus said, I come in my Father's name and ye receive me not, but if one shall come in his own name, him you will receive. The horn of Daniel 7 is the Antichrist. A trump is a horn. He's here in his own name. So she would be like, where in the Bible does it say the Antichrist will be here? No. Again, it's discernment. It's context. So what's this Twin Towers? It was called 88 Lights, where the Twin Towers stood, 88, which is Trump in gematria, in simple gematria or English ordinal. Saturday Night Live skit, you got 6 over here. Here's the 7th. Here's the 8th, the Trump hair. And they literally, I got the video. If you ever want to see it, let me know. They lower simultaneously and disappear as if they were Twin Towers going down. And when they do, this portrait back here is a face with the eyes wide open with the skin peeled off. Like it's just lost its face. It's so terrified. I don't know. It's crazy. So here's your 6, 7, and 8. That's Saturday Night Live skit. Remember, SNL is in Studio 8H. H is the 8th letter, so it's Studio 88. Back to the Future, 88 miles per hour. Here's your Trump and simple gematria. You add the 20 plus the 18 plus 21 plus 13 plus 16. It adds up to 88. And Donnie Darko, in 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds, that's the day the world will end. What happens when you add 28 plus 6 plus 42 plus 12? You get 88. It's hard to make this stuff up, isn't it? Yeah. It's hard. Difficult. Couldn't make it up if you wanted to. It's too vast. In Back to the Future 2, they admitted that they based the Biff character off of Donald Trump, and Biff had a casino. What are you going to do? Seven Kings of Mystery Babylon, right? So who is the eighth? That's of the seven. So she never did address that. So let's go over that. She just stayed snarky. And there's no reason, if you're going to be snarky, message me. So we can just kind of, come to a meeting of the minds. You do it in public. My son's he's awake. He's been napping all day. Hang on. So this is some very complex stuff. I do my daily Bible studies. I've got 8 studies on this. I'm in my 8th Revelation study at TS Daily Bible Studies, which is where I'm putting this video. Because I don't share my 2 YouTube channels I run anymore on Facebook. I just, I'm trying to be as light as I can on Facebook. And my YouTube, I get into some wild stuff with numbers and all kind of stuff. Not any pagan numerology, but just I've always been very numbers oriented and just get into a lot of stuff. And it's too bizarre for my friends, but it's people that have come from all over the world, from Germany, I've had on YouTube, I've had them from all over. One was in Japan. And you go to TS Daily Bible Studies, click playlist, and here is 8th Revelation study. It's 48 videos deep right now. We're almost done with it. And I just went over this. You can click it. You can go down to Revelation 17. New Testament's always first, and then the Revelation and Daniel studies back and forth. So you go to Revelation 17. There it is. So it's Revelation 17, 4 through 9, but in parentheses, I put 4 through 12 because I went ahead and covered most of my studies. You can see 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 23 minutes, 3 minutes, 6 minutes. Well, this one's a 15-minute study because I go into detail about what we're going to, I won't spend too much time on it, but it just says, and the beast that thou sawest was the Twin Towers or Trump before the fake assassination, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. This is a spiritual ascension, and will go into perdition. What will he be doing? He will be running World War III, the 4 horses behind it. Well, the red horse and black horse and pale horse behind the scenes. Just like Palpatine, they showed you, was running the dark side empire. Everybody thought he was dead. They said, no, cloning, dark science secrets, only the Siths knew. Christian Bale, director Christopher Nolan, co-star Michael Caine, all did The Dark Knight Rises, the whole trilogy. And they also did The Prestige, where Tesla cloned Christian Bale. So is it a clone? Is it a body double? If it is a clone, you're like, oh, it's still, don't go by what you hear on TV or in the news. They said they cloned a sheep. A sheep is the church. They said they cloned a sheep back in 95. Folks, if they told you that they cloned a sheep, middle finger is what they gave you if you're a sheep. If they told you they cloned a sheep in 95, how long do you think they've been cloning? If they started telling you about AI, but yet the police had an album in 81 titled Ghost in the Machine, how long do you think the ghost has been in the machine? The fallen angels, the entities are in the technology. They told you when they invented the computer but they lie to you about football like it's real, right to your face. Same with politics, elections, Trump, Biden, Trump, like it's real. They talk to you like it's real. Satan offered Jesus the kingdoms of the world. Do you really think Satan is letting people have an election? Satan be like, daggum, I did have the kingdoms of the world, but the people started electing all these really good, godly people that knew the Bible in reality, not the fake Bible teachings. And wow, I seem to have lost my foothold. No, Satan is a created being to run the evil of the earth, or to run the goat population. That's why Jesus looked at him and said, "You're of your father, the devil." He didn't say, "Well, today you're acting like you're of your father, the devil, but maybe next week you'll have a free will decision to do the right thing." See how stupid all this stuff is? And most of their narratives are God loves everybody, but if you don't choose him with a free will decision, he's going to burn you forever. Oh, I'm burning. Forever. It's hot. People are like, how can you say that? Don't you remember the rich man and Lazarus? Then I would say, like, you mean the parable of the rich man and Lazarus? Because that's a parable. It's like a heavenly story told in an earthly way, or an earthly story told in a heavenly way. I forget how it goes, but it's not reality. And what it's paralleling to is judgment, where you're not going to be able to cross to your loved ones when you see them being judged, and they're weeping and gnashing their teeth. That's why God has to wipe away all your tears, Revelation 21. And God has to wipe away all our tears. Why? Because you just saw your family, friends, and everybody being judged, and they saw you. They saw that you were loved and they weren't, and they knew what was coming. They're bold today. My goodness, is Mystery Babylon ever bold today? I see them on TV. They laugh, they smirk. If I were to actually personally know any, they laugh, they smirk. Everything's a joke. They got it all figured out, man. I just have to, I don't know. You just sit back and let the Lord handle everything, including my own demise when the Lord puts it in their hearts to go ahead and, when my work is complete. But until then, we don't make it personal. We just do what we can do, right? So it says, the beast that was and is not, he shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, running World War III. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder. Shall wonder. Who's going to wonder? They're going to wonder after the beast. And this is sort of also talking about the abomination of desolation when he has returned from the dead, which will be to put an end to World War III. It says, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. So from the foundation of the world, the broad way. Why do you think you have Broadway in almost every town? Because Mystery Babylon runs the earth. In New York, you have a Broadway. You got a Broadway everywhere. I think there's one in Nashville. Broadway, Nashville. Nashville's got a Broadway. When they call it the Broadway, that's straight from the Bible. The narrow way and the Broadway. Hello. I mean, this earth is not that hard to figure out, but the Lord really has to call you to it, or you'll just stay knee deep in the earth. More than likely, you won't even come watch any of my videos. So nothing will make, you're just like, Trey's crazy. So it says, when they beheld the beast that was and is not and yet is. So this starts to answer her question. And I started alluding to Bible verses just to see if she would bite. Because if she said, well, what Bible verse is that? I want to know. I'm curious. Great. then I would actually get into a discussion with her about these verses. To me, it's easier to make videos. I might point her to that video I showed you on TS Daily Bible Studies to help her out, and tell her if you got any more questions, just ask. So Satan doesn't raise Trump from the deadly wound. There's no Bible verse that says Satan raises Donald Trump from it or the Antichrist from a deadly wound, is there? Nope. So I just said twin Trumps equal twin towers. Response, because I'm wanting her to respond because she didn't last time. I said, please. P.S. The Bible doesn't say that God doesn't love everybody. Stupid. That God doesn't love everybody either. But yet, of course, we know that he does not love everybody. Where in the world am I at? Okay. And yet it's there, read between the lines in context, that God doesn't love everybody. So I said, the Bible doesn't say God doesn't love everybody either. And yet it's there, read between the lines in context, which is what I showed you earlier. And then she says, Trey Stokes, you never tell me where says a fake deadly wound in the Bible. No. And there's no Bible verse that says God does not love everybody. It's inferred, read between the lines. So I already answered it. She came back with absolutely zero. Let's continue. And there is the mind which have wisdom. 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen. Nebuchadnezzar was not fallen. He was called by the Lord. I went over that the other day on Facebook. And 1 is the Antichrist. And the other is not yet come, the Antichrist that returns. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. That's the abomination of desolation. Or when he rises spiritually on the 3rd day, we won't know it. The earth won't know he's seemingly come back from the dead until he returns to put an end to World War III. Who can make war with the beast? But it says he must continue a short space. And the beast that was Trump before the fake staged event, or the Twin Towers. So, and the beast that was and is not. Whoops, Twin Towers are down. Oh, Trump's down. Even he is the 8th. And is of the 7. And goeth into perdition. So you see, the 8th is the 7th. It's the twins. The Bible doesn't say it, but it says it. So I don't know what to tell you. Then you go, and then if she would have continued in a real discussion with me, I'd have taken her to Revelation 13, where it says, and I saw one of his heads as if it were wounded to death. So he's dead. And his deadly wound was healed. How'd that happen? Did Satan raise him from the dead? Doesn't say that. Does God raise him from the dead? Doesn't say that. What it's saying is, let me just go ahead and spell it out for you cryptically. It's saying the earth thought he had a deadly wound, and yet here he is, he's healed. You dig? Come down here to verse 12. It's talking about the false prophet and so forth. And then it says, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, Antichrist, whose deadly wound was healed. Who healed it? Doesn't say whose deadly wound was healed by Satan. Doesn't say whose deadly wound was healed by God. Let me tell you what it's actually cryptically saying. who the earth perceived to have had a deadly wound, but was healed. And all the earth shall wonder after the beast, right? Again, talking about the false prophet and so on and so forth, and talking about the image of the beast. That's what name, image, likeness is all about with your college football. And they also talk about chaos, and they talk about carnage when they talk about the football season. But what they're really talking about is what's coming. And name, image, and likeness, NIL, and the transfer portal. It's all they talked about. What's the transfer portal? When Trump goes through his transformation. It says, and an image to the beast, what? Which had a wound by the sword and did live. So he had a deadly wound, but he did live. How they do that? Body double switch, clone switch. Do they pop a twin? Do they pop a clone? What? Watch The Prestige. It's the most incredible movie you'll ever lay your eyes on. The Prestige. Are you watching closely? Absolutely one of the most mind-blowing movies. And they're telling you about cloning. I bet you I don't have this thing turned up enough. So I'm just not getting.
Are you watching closely?
Oh, there it goes.
Closely. Are you watching closely?
Are you watching closely? Because it's a body double switch. And they kill these birds and they make it think they bring it back. But one's really getting killed. Again, this is Christopher Nolan, who did the Dark Knight trilogy. It's Christian Bale, Bale on Christianity. You know, he posed with Trump at the Dark Knight Rises. What do you think Dark Knight Rises is about? It's about rising out of the bottomless pit. I mean, they just throw all this stuff. And the Dark Knight Rises came out 2 days after the Dark Knight, which is about the, darkened right eye. Zechariah 11:17, his right eye will be utterly darkened and his arm will be clean dried up.
Every magic trick consists of 3 parts.
So you got 3 parts. You got the turn, which is the event, and then you get the prestige when he comes back, which is the abomination of desolation. I forget what the first one's called.
Thanks. First part is called the pledge.
The pledge. That's where you see Trump. That's where you see him. They present Trump. Hey, he's president. Hey, he's on this TV show. Hey, he's over here at a rally. How many of them are there? I don't know. But whatever they do, whenever they pull it off, however they pull it off, it won't be him I mean, maybe it's just a fake whatever it is, and he just comes back and it was him all along, nothing happened, like a stunt. Or they pop something that's real, but it's not really it. What they pop is not what returns.
The magician shows you something ordinary.
Yeah, hey, it's Trump. He's at a rally.
A deck of cards, a bird, or a man.
Or a man. And here they show Christian Bale, who plays Trump, and all of his. He was Trump in American Psycho. Man, I did a breakdown on that movie. It was deep. Golly. I used to make some killer. I used to call it my Trump Antichrist series. I just kind of quit doing it because you get so burned out doing the same thing over and over. But in the beginning, when I was learning all this, I was fascinated. So, and what you're going to see is a production. It's going to be a false flag event. It's going to be blamed on somebody or something, which is what the twin Trumps were. Good grief, man. 19 from Saudi. Are you kidding me? Anybody watching those things fall could see that was a demolition. The outside of the Twin Towers was nothing but steel. Steel, steel, steel. A jet crashing into that, half of it, if not all of it, would have fell to the street. Maybe a nose would have made it in. But let's just say a whole jet disappears inside there. Okay, so this jet fuel, it's so hot. Of course, even though they showed the smoke already turning the color where it's cooling. And the jet, they were like, the jet fuel, in order to melt a steel beam, would have had to have been X number of degrees. And the way that smoke's cooling, it's not even there. But let's just suspend disbelief for a second and say, okay, that fuel was hot enough to melt a beam. You would have seen like a floor collapse. That building was so solidly built. It turned into powder. Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 7. Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 7, all fell at free fall speed. I digress. And don't forget, remember Sirius, the dog from Sirius, the dog star? They had the dog, they had a firehouse dog that allegedly got killed. His name was Sirius, spelled the same way they spell Sirius the dog star.
It shows you this object.
I have to break this up or they'll shut this video down with copyright strikes and so forth.
Perhaps he asked you to.
So he shows it to you. You know, hey, here's Trump. He's at a rally. He's alive. This is Donald Trump.
You see that is indeed real.
Oh, the bloody ass!
It's called the turn. The second act is called the turn.
The second act is called the turn. Or what we would definitely know it as the turning point. That movie, I'm telling you, that movie will blow your mind. It is deep. It is the deepest movie I've ever seen. And I know why. Because it's about what's coming. Commentary, fair use, educational purposes.
The magician takes the ordinary something.
Oh, there's Trump.
And makes it do something extraordinary.
He takes something ordinary, makes it do something extraordinary. So he just killed a bird.
Now, you're looking for the secret.
But you won't find it because you're not really looking. And that's why I do what I do. So you will not be freaked out when it happens.
You won't find it. Because, of course, you're not really looking.
It's a magic trick.
You don't really want to know.
You don't really want to know. But of course, what it really is, you're not called to know. Anything I know, the Lord handed it to me on a silver platter, put it right in my heart.
Want to be fooled.
You want to be fooled.
But you wouldn't clap yet.
You don't clap yet because you got to bring it back.
Because making something disappear isn't enough.
Nope. the Antichrist getting the deadly wound is not good enough. You have to have what is known as the abomination of desolation. That's where God sends the world a strong delusion that they will believe a lie.
You have to bring it back. That's why every
Now, that bird probably didn't die, but I'll show you another scene.
magic trick has a third act. The hardest part.
The Prestige, which equals the abomination of desolation.
The part we
In other words, Jesus rose from the dead. The anti-Jesus will seemingly have risen from the dead.
call the Prestige.
And the Prestige, you killed it. Hang on just a quickie. So here's where they actually kill a bird. And they show you that, you know, one gets killed. Now, I don't know if in the making of the movie, but you get the idea. That one gets killed. And that little boy knows it. Oh boy. Little boy. So hang on. Commentary, fair use, educational purposes. And of course, the little kid's going to say, but where's his brother? Or where's the clone? See, Trump's a Gemini. Gemini is the twin. This has all been the plan since way before you were born. I don't care how old you are. You can't fool kids, man. I'm telling you. Christian Bale feels bad.
See, he's all right. He's fine.
See, he's all right. He's fine.
Look at him. But where's his brother?
Where's his brother? Christian Bale's like, how in the world did this kid figure this out?
He's a sharp lead, your son.
Oh boy. Yikes.
He's my nephew.
And now he's going to grab one and go, you're the lucky one today. So in the movie, they're letting you know, yeah, they got killed. They got popped.
You're the lucky one today.
I'm telling you straight up, watch that movie. And if it's this Wednesday, The Boy Who Cried Wolf here on the Wolf full moon rises on the third day. See, they had a Dark Knight, came out on July 18th. The Dark Knight Rises came out July 20th. Get it on the third day. I mean, they're so in your face and out in the open with everything. But most people are just not, they're not called to pick it up. So anyway, she goes, you never tell me where it says a fake deadly wound in the Bible. Well, it already went over. I didn't give her the verses or anything, but I went over the Bible. I went over the verses without giving the number, like, you know, Revelation 17, 8 through 12. I just wanted to just throw stuff out there because I was busy and just see if she, because you know what? It's like I can already sense that, nah, she doesn't really, I've seen people come at me before and you can tell it's not from a Holy Spirit standpoint. And if it's not, and they've got a snarkiness to them, I just don't have any patience with them. So I said, I hit reply, which put her name there again. Truther Athena. Bible doesn't say God doesn't love everybody either. As I've asked, and this is the last time I'll ask, and then we'll be done. I don't play around with folks that don't answer my questions or respond to my response to them. And when I say that, I mean people that come at me. If you come at me, I'm going to have a response. I'm going to back it up. Come at me with an intelligent discussion. Ask questions. But don't be snarky. Ain't nobody got time for that. So, 7 kings of mystery Babylon, Bible. That's where it says it in the Bible. Who's the 8th king of the 7? Question mark. Revelation 17, 8 through 12. I gave her the Bible verses. Gave her the Bible verses. More to help you. The word is saying that the earth believes his deadly wound was healed. How is it healed? Who healed it? Because the Bible don't say that either. Word is cryptic. Word of God is cryptic. I should have said the word. I was in a hurry typing. Context and discernment are key to understanding. I need some answers or we'll part ways, no worries. Then she says, not sure where God doesn't say he doesn't love everybody either came from. Deflecting, I guess. I don't play either. You need to prove your case before you expect me to prove mine. Oh, this sounds like we're getting into some real lawyering here. But I gave Bible verses and she didn't respond to the Bible verses, did she? Like she totally ignored what I gave her. Totally ignored it. See, that's when I start to go like, what am I doing? I'm just wasting my time. I don't know this person. She came to me from like my YouTube channel because I would share my Facebook on my channels. Say, come find me because I can talk to people on audios and I have some great relationships with people from YouTube. One of my very best, Ms. Vanessa. Anyway, so, and just the way she typed, you know, and the way she formed her words and her grammar and stuff. And I, you know, I'm no wordsmith here, but so you don't know what you're dealing with. None of y'all know this person. I certainly didn't know this person. She's come at me twice. I've never been on her Facebook. She came at me twice with the same thing and never acknowledged anything that I sent her back in return. I said, Truther Athena, you don't know I'm wrong either. So you can go your own way. Is that a song? I'm more than sure you believe in free will. So your truther in God's word, as you profess on your Facebook tagline, is null and void of any truth. And then I talked about, I had to block her. So I don't need to do that anymore. I'll put this video down here instead. And I will tell you something that has given me tremendous amount of peace. And it was something that took place in my Monday Bible study. And it's how it really details that you don't have a memory of this fleshly life in the next life. When God said, behold, I have made all things new, you don't have memories of, oh, I lost my virginity. Oh, I scored a touchdown. Oh, I hit a home run. Oh, I had 6 kids. I remember each birth. Well, maybe they're not all sheep. The point is your memories are filled, and whatever occurred in your life, God ordained that anyway. God ordained the exact moment all 6 of your kids will be born. to the letter. So there's the 1,000-year millennial reign, which is followed by judgment. But then after that, God has to wipe away all our tears, because that's 21:4, because because we witnessed their judgment when the flame came down and devoured them. It's just whoosh. That's it. That's Revelation 20, I think 29. And it says, there shall be no more death, neither sorrow. If you had a memory of your life here on earth in your fleshly body, there would be sorrow. He just had to wipe away all your tears. But see, this is when God is saying, oh, there it is. Behold, I make all things new. So let's go over it. There's no more death. There's no more sorrow, nor crying. Neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. That includes your memory. And you're like, well, what's the payoff? I want to sit in heaven and go, hey, remember all those days when people ridiculed me? And but no, nope, you don't get that. You got that at judgment. It was a one-time deal, and you were the one bawling also. They were weeping and gnashing their teeth, and you were crying because you had to witness your friends and family who were not called to the truth. So what are you going to do with that? Neither shall there be any more pain. For what? For the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. You don't have a memory of your past when you get into the New Jerusalem and so forth. And you're communing with the Creator, who ordained every single thing you ever did. Every single thing your enemies ever did. He ordained that and had it carried out through Satan. People just don't know, do that. They don't know. They don't know what. Pretty much everything from what I talk, when I talk to people, I have about 3 or 4 or 5, 6 folks that seriously understand the truth. If they watch this video, they would go like, I know what he's saying. I believe what he's saying. I get what he's saying. 6 out of, I don't know, I got 1,530 Facebook friends right now. Isaiah 46:10 said that God declared the end from the beginning. Isn't Revelation already written, the end times? Yep. Everything is set. He's not waiting on little Johnny or little Sally to make a free will decision, is he? Nope. From ancient times, beginning of the Bible, to the things that are not yet done, the end of the Bible, saying, see, he's declared it. That's the first. Declaring the end from the beginning, from ancient times to the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand. I will do my pleasure. Which that would include all the evil, wouldn't it? No, God doesn't have anything to do with evil. Somebody will shout from the balcony. And then you take them to Isaiah 45:7, where God said, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Well, that's not what that means. Okay. I tell people, you want to learn the word of God? Forget everything you've ever learned. Start from scratch. Here's another one for you. The Lord have made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. What's the day of evil? The abomination of desolation. God has made everything for himself, even the wicked. And they have a purpose. Mystery Babylon has a purpose. They're an upside down version of our world. They're on a need to know basis. We're on a need to know basis. We are told what we need to know when we need to know it. As part of our salvational process. They use the word process, they use the word journey. All kind of words. It's an upside down version of our world. Our journey of the salvational process. Their motto, trust the process, because there is going to be 2 billion dying. And they're told, just trust the process, just trust it. What comes out on the other side, the phoenix rising out of the ashes, it's going to be amazing. They created all the calamity, all the division, all the hate. They created every bit of it, programmed you with it. And then they're telling you, we're going to fix it. Well, if you didn't create it, but God ordained they would create it. God ordained all this evil that Mystery Babylon does. God ordained it. So it's tough. It's tough to try to understand all of this in one fell swoop. But I can tell you, it brings me tremendous peace when I just let go of caring about that sense of self. Like when you really come to grips with in heaven, anything you've done on, you know how you got let's say you got a kid, you got a son or a daughter, and they're in middle school. Somebody says something mean or breaks their heart. And you just want to say, and you tell them, you know, these people that you're talking to now that you're letting affect you and you're not sleeping well. Kids commit suicide, right? So, or they want to commit suicide or whatever, you know, they have all these issues. And you sit here and you tell them, like, I don't hang out with but 4 or 5 people I went to school with. Some people 2 or 3. Some people none. Some people 100. But it's their choice. And you just want to, you tell your kids, you're like, that person that's bothering you, when you're an adult, you won't even know them. But it doesn't mean anything to them right now. What matters to them now is in the now. So when I tell you, but see, the Lord's allowing me to understand nothing that happens here really matters other than just like what Mystery Babylon, just do your job. You know, when Nick Saban's talking, they say, oh, he's really talking to his players when he's talking to the press. No, he's really talking to Mystery Babylon. Mystery Babylon's watching Nick Saban. They know what he's talking about. He's talking about their journey to trust the process. And that's all they talk about on sports. We're process oriented. Every head coach now is process oriented. Trust the process. And what they're really telling you is just hang in there. It's coming. Trust it. It won't seem like something you want to be a part of. It's the exact upside down version of what we have to go through. We have to go through persecution by Mystery Babylon. The Bible in Acts 14:22, it says we all through much tribulation enter the kingdom. You got to suffer tribulation. If you died and were a friend to the world and you believed in free will and you celebrated Christmas, do you really think you're a sheep? Of course, if you died, why are we having this conversation? Just get the idea. Did they bear fruit? Were they hated for the truth? Were they in the truth and then hated for it? Were they taking part in New Year's? Happy New Year, pagan. Janus, the god Janus, he's frontwards and backwards. That's why your TV shows are like, well, let's talk about, look back at 2022 and then look ahead at God Janus. They have to honor the god Janus by doing those. That's what all those shows are about. All those look back shows or podcasts that pop all the stuff I follow on YouTube, whether it's UFC or whatever. Let's look back at 2022. top 5 submissions, top 5 knockouts. Let's look back. Let's look ahead. All they're giving you is the god Janus on purpose because they're Mystery Babylonians, or they wouldn't be on TV, would they? The god Janus. Backwards and forwards. January. So, yeah, that's about it. If you come to my Facebook, you know, come with a humble heart. I will have a tremendous humble heart. And you know what? The first time I addressed her, I was very humble about it. I was super nice to her. I remember it. I remember being super nice. I was like, man, you're being really nice right now. Good for you. Which really, you know, thank you, Lord. But I was just like really sweet. I just said, hey, you know, check out these Bible verses here. This is where it comes from, and blah blah blah. And, but when the same and then she never responded, but I've forgotten all about it. I've forgotten about her response, or I might have messaged her to keep her from coming back on again. Sure enough, it popped in my head. She never responded last time when she popped off at me again today. And just snarky. So I was pretty much a blunt instrument. As you can see, I wanted to see if she would engage at all with any humility, because we both have to go at this with you know, a humble heart. You're like, hey, we're gonna let's take a look at this. You got a question about something I posted? Thanks for asking. Let me see if I can address it. Boom. Any response? Any reply back to that? I had a few question marks in there. Did you answer any of them? No. 2-3 weeks later. Oh. I'm like, you're back? You didn't address it last time. So anyway, I have cut people loose before that, you know, they're still good friends of mine, but they have come on and get on to me about the whole Trump stuff. I address it. It's over with. Same person will come back again 2 weeks later. I had one friend long time ago, back like 2017, jumped all over me about no free will, election predestination. 2018 probably was. And I started giving him Bible verses, giving him Bible. Nothing was addressed. Nothing was addressed. He was just pitching a fit. I just blocked him. Weirdly, like 2 years later, when the illness hit, I think it was 2019, I hustled back a lot of people I'd blocked. And I said, you know, I want to get back in the world here, try to be friends with the world, you know. So, hey, sorry about that. Ended up blocking just about every one of them all over again. The Lord pulls you out of the world kicking and screaming. You don't want to come out of the world. But slowly but surely, he'll get you out. He'll get you out. Because sure enough, that same guy, after I hustled him back, came at me on the same subject. Maybe 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months after we were Facebook friends again. How can you say all this stuff? Same stuff that I ended up blocking him for last time. Once again, I addressed it with Bible verses. No response to the Bible verses. Again, let's cut him loose. Cut another one loose over just the Trump stuff. Come back again. Donald Trump. I mean, he was a Trumpster. Good grief, like 4/5 of my friends are Trumpsters. Well, 2/3. At least half. They think I'm what? I'm a super liberal because I know Trump's the Antichrist? No. I'm neither of y'all. So anyway. Hey, it's Trump's birthday. It's 6/14, y'all. Anyway, love y'all. Ask questions anytime. Seriously. Message me. We can keep it really simple on Messenger. If you want to do it out in public, just be ready to roll up your sleeves and address what I bring to you. And because it'll be work. It'll be a study. I've been a teacher since 2002. I'm a teacher at heart. I like to teach. But I only teach adults now because my patients, I'm 61. I don't have a lot of time for somebody fusing in, I don't know, their touchiness, their ignorance, which just means they just don't know any better. But I'm not going to play nice. Come to find out, nice comes from a word that means to play dumb or play stupid. The original root of nice is not what we use it as today. And so, yeah, just tell the truth. Do the best you can. All right, love y'all. Mean it.